Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syafitri. I am from 4B class. Okay, I will explain to you about the test-based language teaching in senior high school. Introduction. A test-based language teaching, a TBLT, refers to an approach based on the use of tests as the core unit of planning and instruction in language teaching. Some of its proponents present it is a logical development of communicative language teaching since it draws on several principles that formed a part of the communicative language teachings movement from the 1980. For example, activities that involve real communication are essential for language learning. Activities in which language is used for carrying a meaningful task promote learning. A language that is meaning to the learner supports the learning process. The tasks are proposed as useful vehicles for applying these principles. To early application of a task-based approach within communicative framework for language teaching were the Malaysian Communicational Syllabus 1979 and the Bangalore Project Barretta and Davis Prab 1987. Barretta 1990, both of which were relatively short-lived. The role of task has received further support from some researchers in second language acquisition who are interested in developing pedagogical application of second language acquisition. Theory E.G. Long and Crocus 1993 and interest in tasks as a potential building blocks of second language instruction emerged when researchers turned off tasks as HLA research tools in the mid 1980. SLR research has focused on the strategies and cognitive process implied by second language learners. This research has suggested a reassessment of the role of formal grammar instruction in language teaching. There is no evidence in this area that the type of grammar of focused teaching activities used in many language classroom reflects the cognitive learning process implied in naturalistic language learning situation outside the classroom. Engaging learners in task work provides a better context for the activation of learning process than from focused activities, and hence ultimately provides better opportunities for language learning to take place. Language learning is believed to depend on immersing students not merely in comprehensible input, but in tasks that require them to negotiation, meaning and engine in naturalistic and meaningful communication. And the key assumption of task-based instruction are summarized by Fees 1998, page 17. As the focus is on process rather than product. Basic elements are purposeful activities and tasks that passive communication and meaning. Learners learn language by interacting communicatively and purposefully will engage in the activities and tasks. Activities and tasks can be either tools that learners imagine to active in real life, those that have a pedagogical purpose specific to the classroom. Activities and tasks of a task-based syllabus are sequenced according to difficulty. The difficulty of a task depends on a range of factors, including the previous experience of the learner, the complexity of the task, the language required to undertake the task, and the degree of support available. Because of it is linked to communicative language teaching methodology and support from some prominent SLA theories. And TBLT has gained a considerable attention within applied linguistics. Attacks there have attention within applied linguistics. There have been a few allergic to scale practical applications of it on little documentation and concerning its application or effectiveness as a basis for syllabus design, materials, and development in classroom teaching. Next, in the task-based language teaching, proposes the notion of task as a central unit of planning and teaching, although a definition of task vary in TBLT is a common essential understanding that a task in activity or goal that is carried out using language, such as finding a solution to a puzzle, reading a map, and giving direction. Making a telephone call, or writing a letter, or reading a set of instruction and assembling a toy. Tasks are activities which have meaning as their primary focus. And the success in the task is evaluation in terms of equipment of an outcome, and tasks generally bear some resemblance to real life use. So task-based instruction takes a fairly strong view of communicative language teaching. In Skihan 1996, page 20, and Nunan 1989, page 10, offers this definition. The communicative task is a piece of classroom work which involves learners in comprehending, manipulating, producing, or interacting in the target language while their attention is principally focused on meaning rather than form. The test also have a sense of competences, being able to stand alone as a communicative edge in its own right. Although advocates of TBLT have embraced the concept of task with enthusiasm and conviction, the use of task as a unit in curriculum planning has a much older history in education. It first appeared in the vocational training practice of the 1950. Task analysis initially focused on soul psychomotor tasks for which little communication or collaboration was involved. In task analysis, On the job, largely manual tasks were translated into training tasks. The process is outlined by Smith. The operational system is analyzed from the human factor point of view, and an emission profile or flow chart is prepared to provide a basis for developing task inventory. The task inventory and outline of the major duties that is in the job and the more specific job tasks associated with each data. A similar process at the heart of the curriculum approach, known as a competency-based language teaching, task-based training identified several key areas of concerns, analyze overwork task use situation, the translation of this into teaching task description, the detailed decision of instructional tasks, in the last, the sequencing of instructional tasks in classroom training or teaching. And then teacher rules. Additional rules are also assumed for teacher in TBE, including selector and sequencer of tasks. A central role of the teacher is in selecting, adapting, and or creating the tasks themselves and then forming tasks into an instructional sequence in keeping with a learner needs, interests, and language skill level. Preparing learners for tasks. Most TPLT proponents suggest that learners should not go into new task code and that some sort of pre-task preparation or queuing is important. Such activities might include topic introduction, clarifying, task instruction, helping students learn off recall useful words in process to facilitate a task accomplishment, and providing partial demonstration of task procedures. Such queuing might be inductive and implicit, or deductive and explicit. The rule of instructional material, pedagogic material. Instructional material play an important role in TBLT because it is dependent on a sufficient supply of appropriate classroom tasks, some of which might require a considerable time, ingenuity, and resources to develop. Material that can be exploited for instruction in TBLT are limited only by the imagination of the task designer. Many contemporary language teaching texts guide a task focus or task-based activities. Among the media is a newspaper. Next, the following are some of the task types that can be built around such media products and newspaper. The following are some of the task types that can be built. The following are some of the task types that can be built around such media products as newspapers. A student examine a newspaper, determine its sections, and suggest 3 new sections that might go in the newspaper. A student prepare a job 1 at using examples from the classified section. A student prepare their weekend entertainment plan using the entertainment section. Television. A student takes notes during the weather report and prepare a map with weather symbol showing likely weather for the prediction period. In watching infomercial, students identify and list hype words in, then try to construct a parallel and following the sequence of the type of the hype words. After watching an episode of an noun soap opera, students list the characters with noun or made-up names in their possible relationships to other character in episode. And then internet. Given a book a title to be accurate, a student conducts a comparative shopping analysis of 3 internet booksellers, listing price, mailing times, and shipping charges, and accuse vendors justifying their quiz in seeking to find an inexpensive hotel in Tokyo. A student search with 3 different search engines, e.g. Yahoo, Netscape, Snap, and comparing search times and analyzing. And the first thing is to determine most useful search engine for their purpose. Student initiate a chat in a chat room, indicating a current interest in their life in developing it answer to the first 3 people to respond. They then start a diary with this text to sets and ranking the response. In the procedure in task-based language teaching, in the way in which task activities are decided into an instructional block can be seen from the following example from recast 1985. The example comes from a language a program that contained a core component built around tasks. The program was an intensive conversation course for Japan's college students studying an summer program in the unit status, and its analyzed. Identify a target task the student needed to be able to carry out in English, including basic social cerebral transaction, face-to-face informal conversation, telephone conversation, interview on the spot, and the surface encounter. Okay, that's all explanation by me about the media TBLT. Thank you for your attention. I'm Syafitri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.